Hello everyone, I'm back. Let me show you where I'm at. So while I was working, I made a couple of discoveries. One is that the edge of this fender straight out of the mold is real close to the edge of the fender I want, with the exception of it doesn't taper down as much. It doesn't go as high, doesn't taper down as much, but it's really close. All right. The other thing that I noticed is I looked at the hatch. Oh, before I get there, this piece had been cut off. So when I took it and I said, well, how close is this? I noticed that, and this is bizarre, this piece pretty much exactly matches the opening of the C8 hatch. So everybody thinks that GM significantly changed the C8. Well, that's the opening hatch for a C6, and it exactly matches it. The angle's different and such, but it matches the C8. When I found that out, I said, well, then this inside edge of the hatch that I have must also match. And sure enough, when I put it up there, it matches. The opening is different in a different location, so I marked that. This would go there to align, but you can see that there's the opening to the hatch. Why is this significant? Well, I've been making templates, a lot of templates. So I went to the driver's side, made templates, came to the passenger side, and took the fender that I had that was made out of the mold for the C6 and hacked it up into pieces. And I've mounted these templates, and then I cut the pieces to where they would match. Then I screwed them to it. So if you come in here and look at it from the back side, you can see that the two match. So now these pieces that are screwed in are in the right location. There's a couple places that need some work. Right here, the angle's a little bit different. That needs to be pulled out. The disadvantage of using this is it's pretty thick. It's 1/10 of an inch thick, so it's not really flexible. But that's also the advantage, is this is a finished surface and it's thick enough that I don't have to do anything to reinforce it. Unlike my original plan was to use this piece, which is very thin and very flexible. And I would have to come in the backside and reinforce it. This, I don't have to come in the backside and reinforce it. I just have to come in the backside and attach it. So now I have all of the templates that I need. I made some more, you can see. A couple things is the space between these three templates that's open. It's almost a straight line. I went to the other side, so all I have to do is make a flat and flexible piece, and it will fill that gap by just attaching it, screwing it to the inside of those templates, and I can just put it in place. So that will fill that. Then I have to go in the back side of that. I have to make it flexible enough because it's got to turn inside out. By the same token, I'm going to do that over here. I need this distance, since I already have this piece that I can put inside of those templates across the peak, and then this that I can put on the inside over there to fill that gap. And then obviously I still have this piece on something, I don't know where. So I've got this edge, I've got that edge, I've got that. I need to fill this gap right here and to accurately locate this edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these off of here, and I'm going to make a thin strip that is exactly a match of this. And then I will take that and it will span the gap in between this outside edge that I have, this inside edge that I have. And by making it on this, it's going to be flat and smooth because it's going to be an exact copy of this surface. So I'll take it, flip it over, curve it the other way, attach it to both of those pieces, and that will have this whole section made for me. So with that in mind, I had to trying not to go spin you in circles. Right, I had another one of these, obviously, from the other side. So I put it back in the original mold. It was exactly like this. I needed space to, because this is higher than the other side, I needed to space it up as well. So I took the piece here, stuck it in the mold, and extended it to that edge and to that edge. So again, I will take this piece, put it on top of the car over there. Let me back up so you can get a view. This is the whole piece right there. All right. So I'll take that, put it on the other side, trim this to the right height. I had this clamp, this piece, had to clamp it in, and that's where the clamp was. I've got to fill that in. I'll do that today. That should be a relatively minor thing to do. Let's see what else. Oh, so I mentioned the hatch that I cut. Let me grab this. So this is off of the passenger side. It used to go here, like that. So I have this other side that I can use. I'll do the same thing. I'll make a pattern off of that, cut it to the exact shape. So that piece will fill in right here. It will actually replace this piece that I made. I spent a lot of time making it and trying to match the old piece. Let me see. Here's the old piece. Right here. So the choice was I needed to make the two sides match. So I could have spent a lot of time with the foam and all that, making the two sides, the driver's side match the passenger side already did, including this curved piece, which would take a lot of time. Or I could go ahead and use what I already had and change this side to match this side because I have the pieces already. I decided to do that. It's slightly different, but only you and I will know. The in-car, nobody will know that I changed the curve slightly. It just saved time. One of the tricks with these templates is that either they have to be spaced correctly, they have to be located correctly. And so I was going to go make a skin out of tape and mark alignment lines, put it on the passenger side. Let me go over here so I can show you what I'm talking about. All of these alignment marks, by doing it with tape, I was going to use fiberglass reinforced clear tape. I could take every one of these markings, put the fiberglass reinforced tape on it, mark all of these markings, and then when I take it to the other side and flip it inside out, I can transfer those markings to the other side. That would make sure that those templates are exactly aligned from side to side. You could do this with laser and accurately measuring and all that, but I don't want to go through all that, so I could make the skin. In my case, because I'm already using panels, I just need to get them in the right location. So I just drew lines up and down. I could have used a laser to make sure those were absolutely vertical. I didn't. The only place where that came in significant is this back piece right here. It's at an angle. The silver tape is just to keep the templates from sticking. I tried silver tape, I tried clear tape, I tried some other like tan color tape, that tape right there. The tan color tape worked, but it didn't want to come off in solid sheets. It kept breaking up into little pieces. So I said, I don't want to do that. The aluminum tape worked okay initially. I did not wax it. And so it stuck in some places, which is why it got torn where I tried to break it loose. Obviously I hot glued the foam to it to make my little bridges, and those places, in some cases, the foam stuck to the tape. No big deal, the tape will pull off. On the last one, I waxed it, and of course that meant that the piece came off much easier. It still didn't just pop off like I thought. But the other challenge is trying to hot glue the little foam bridges on there. Some of them didn't want to, hot glue didn't want to stick to the waxed aluminum tape. So I guess it's pick your poison on how you want to do that. There's none of the methods that I used, I would say, was perfect. Just good enough. Alcohol, paint thinner, acetone, lacquer thinner, any of that stuff will soften up the glue in the tape. So if your tape gets stuck there, I'm going to go wipe everything down with whichever one of those. I start with alcohol and then move my way up until it comes off. Let's see, what else do I have? Actually, I think that's it. I still have to, of course, make the fender well opening and all of that. The fender well opening, did the same thing with it. It came off of the original molds. And then we grafted it in right here. It's still roughed in. I never have finished it because I wanted to get everything else going. The two biggest challenges I have now are getting the vents to the other side. I only have a mold of one vent, and then I put 3 of them together to come up with that. So I have to decide, what do I want to do that? Because that mold is wrong. It would be inside out, and there's no way to turn it inside out because it's such a bunch of edges and such. The other challenging part is this whole lower front end that I had to make. This is all handmade. That's going to be very tedious to make from one side to the other. I'm going to try to scan it, see if I can get a scan and get somebody to 3D print a mirror image of that. And I will probably try to do the same thing with the vents, try to scan it, get a 3D image of it, and then have someone manipulate that, turn it inside out. These vents are not perfect. I need to straighten them out. So doing that in digital would actually help, because then I can make both vents, cut those vents out and replace them with the digital ones, or the ones I make from the digital image. Still have to fill in the back section right here. I have a separate piece that is just screwed in with one screw with the license plate. I'm going to add another taillight looking vent and then drill the 4 holes in between. Obviously you can see I've got to do something about getting those two to match, to meet whatever I decide to do there. This corner still needs to be fixed, but I figure I did find the missing piece around here somewhere. I don't know what I did with it. This missing cap piece right here, I have it. So again, I can use my templates or make new templates to make that match, or use my contour gauges. So no big deal there. All right, I think that's got everything. Obviously, from what I just said, this is an entire day's worth of work. So if I'm lucky, I probably won't get it all done, but I'll update you in a day or two and let you see what I've gotten done. The other final thing is the bottom edge here. This thing, if you look, isn't 100% secure, partially because the back's not secure. What I need to do is make spacers to space between the wheel and the fender, so that I can get that, find out where that bottom edge is. So I will literally make a spacer, put it against the tire, make a spacer, probably out of foam, probably carve it, and then take it and flip it to the other side. Because it's a straight line for the tire and a straight line for this, I don't have to do anything fancy as far as compensating for the angles or anything. It will literally be a spacer there. All right, I think that's it. Oh, and that'll also help me to do the wheel opening as well. I can use that as a guide to make sure both sides match. All right, well, that's all I have for today. Go ahead, like, subscribe, hit the alert. Let's see, and hit the thanks button if you want to donate. And if you don't know what I'm doing, you don't know Jack. See you next time. Bye.